Good morning, Davidson High School. Today is Friday, February 25th, 2005.
I'm Mike McManaman alongside Paul Gerke, so sit back and relax. Your DTV News Live starts now.
This is your DTV News Live, bringing you your news, sports, and student life.
Here, right now, right 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 here,
All you kids out there, this is Chubby Checker. I'm on DTV this morning howling at you. And I want you to know something. If you throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care, you're doing my fly. Understand? DTV, you and me.
We live in a fast-paced world. From wireless telephone service to the cars that we drive, everything is quick and in a hurry. It is because of this that we must learn to be more cautious behind the wheel. Morgan Green has more.
He was always the one that was upbeat and positive and that type of thing, and he cared a lot about his brothers and sisters and made sure that they were taken care of first over himself. He always put the family ahead of him, and that's why it was such a tragedy what happened to him as far as with the car accident.
To most, driving is just a natural instinct and tend not to give their driving behaviors a second thought.
I consider myself a fast driver. I usually speed about 7 miles an hour over pretty much everywhere.
I drive fast, especially on the freeway. I like to drive fast on the freeway. The cop came up behind me, and I thought it was a regular person, so I sped up even more. And then he turned his lights on, pulled me over, and I got 10 over, and then I didn't have my license on me, so it's like $250.
Many don't consider their dangerous driving habits of anything of importance. However, one drive changed my family for the rest of our lives.
He was heading back to Grand Rapids going west, so it was early in the morning, so it couldn't have been that he was tired or anything. He was just left that morning and was coming back. The sun couldn't have been in his eyes. The pavement was clear. The only thing that we know is there was construction going on, and he hit a bank. It pushed him over across 4 lanes. There was a semi coming off of the expressway, and he ran into him head on. I figured at the time that he was okay because Ryan was always the guy that always landed on his feet no matter what happened in life. And unfortunately, we got there, Ryan was in a coma and never came out of the coma.
For drivers, my dad leaves one last piece of advice.
Driving is a privilege, not a right. And that privilege can be taken away at any time, and someone's life can be taken away at any time also.
It's always important to stay focused on the road. Driving is a privilege. Remember that you not only hold the keys to the car, but the lives of those around you.
We have plenty more DTV News Live straight ahead.
But first, we'll pause for this public service announcement.
Come up to meet you, tell you I'm sorry. You don't know how lovely you are. I had to find you, tell you I need you, tell you I set you apart. Tell me your secrets and ask me your questions. Now let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming in tails. Heads on the sides, apart.
Try as you might, you cannot escape fate. This is something Mount Morris native Brian Perriman knows far too well. It was fate that has taken him away from his normal life, a life that he could once call normal.
At the age of 38, most men dream of a house of their own, a wife, and children. Brian Perryman had that dream, But as of late, Perryman is only having nightmares.
7 or 8 years ago, he wouldn't have had a chance. He would have just died.
Brian's wife Brenda is right. Technology in the form of Brian's heart pump has made life attainable. On December 13th of 2004, Perryman, a Mount Morris native and 16-year chef of Roosters, fell ill.
His work called and told me that he passed out at work and they thought he had a seizure. When he got to Genesis, they told him on the way that it was his heart and he was having really bad heart rhythms.
As the Perrymans find out more about Brian's case, it's not surprising that they are becoming increasingly worried.
They're a little concerned about the future, and they're just not for sure what's going to go on exactly.
A normal person's heart pump's at about a 50% ejection fraction, and his is less than 10. He's waiting to be on the donor list. It'll take 4 to 6 months. He does have to have a heart transplant.
Seeing the need for help, Tanya, Brian's cousin, stepped in to help raise funds for the Perrymans at this Saturday's spaghetti dinner and auction.
Words cannot explain how overwhelming it's been, how wonderful everybody has been.
We're just looking forward to him having his heart transplant and leading a more normal life.
If you feel the need to donate to the cause, attend this Saturday's dinner and auction and give a heart to the Perrymans. Matt Smith, DTV News.
If you wish to help the Perryman family, the next fundraiser is set to take place on March 9th.
We've got plenty more DTV News Live coming up next.
But first, we'll pause for this commercial break.
I have multiple penalties on the play. Unacceptable Republican brainwashing of an underclassman, that's a personal foul. Permission to retrieve coffee from the teacher's lounge is denied. I also have unnecessary overdressing. Suit coat on a man over 6'6" in height. Selection of tie is now under review. Replacing with DTV News. Always more taste, less filling, and always less carbs.
Anybody got a red flag? I'm challenging.
2 career days are being offered in mid-March for students interested in either business, marketing, or human services. If you are interested in either of these areas, please stop by the Career Center as soon as possible. Spaces are limited. We've got plenty more news ahead, but right now we're going to head over to DTV's Kelly Smith for today's edition of DTV Sports. Kelly?
Thanks, Paul. First off, we have the Davison Cardinals set to tip off against the Carman Ainsworth Cavaliers at 7:30 tonight. If you can't make it out, tune in to Channel 19 DTV Sports, where the game will be broadcast live. If you are a student interested in dodgeball, don't forget to pick up the registration packet during all lunches today. It's important to get materials today. Only first 30 teams registered will be allowed to compete. And that's it for today's edition of your DTV Sports. Now back to Mike and Paul with the rest of your news.
Thank you, Kelly. In the high school art world, most students have little room to do something new. But for student Allie Madsen, art has less to do with the unique approach to her work and more to do with making a point that will be left in your mind.
A penny, 1 cent, a single coin. You can find them anywhere, even in the high school parking lot. But to students like Allie Madsen, this penny is worth a fortune in artistic value.
It's just an independent art project. We're using pennies because we're going to kind of make a statement about money.
In the art room, Allie's teacher, Mr. Kelsey, sets a framework. From there, it's her choice on how to create her art.
Most of the class, they give you ideas, but you get to do what you want with them. So that was cool that we didn't have something assigned to do it. Like, we could just use what we wanted instead of having a set idea put forth.
When she's done with this might not be a beautiful work of art, but it's going to make a statement, a powerful statement that will stay with you longer than something that's just beautiful.
Whether the art ends up cosmetically beautiful or poetically strong, her statement will remain.
I'm really proud when students look for ways to comment on society, to comment on issues that I think are more important than just making a pretty picture.
It's always been something I'm interested in. It's just a good way to express yourself, and this we got excited about because it could turn out really cool.
So when you walk past that penny in the parking lot, pick it up and donate it for art's sake. Matt Smith, DTV News.
Good luck, Allie. We look forward to seeing the finished product in this year's art show. Not everything is as it should be here in Davison. With the wintry conditions moving in, many students are missing and have not been heard from. Mike McManaman and myself teamed up for this exclusive in-depth look at the mystery behind the strange happenings here in Davison.
With the current winter weather conditions, going outside just isn't as safe as it used to be. There are all sorts of unforeseen hazards: snowdrifts, icy roads, and gnomes.
Oh no, I'm just a tall man walking in the snow, just walking, enjoying myself. Oh no, 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 no! Ah!
Hundreds of gnomes have been sighted in the last week in the Davison Tri-County area. And the most disturbing facet of the recent uprising of the gnomes, they're attacking humans.
Oh no, I ate one too many brownies, now I'm being chased by gnomes. This really sucks bad. Ah! DTV's senior sketch artist made this artist rendition of what a gnome looked like.
It is the gnome's natural survival instinct to burrow holes into the ground during the winter months. These holes range from 8 to 12 inches deep and are used for warmth and shelter.
The gnome royalty do not have to worry about burrowing such holes. They reside in a palace invisible to the untrained eye.
DTV recovered this rare file footage from the Davison Library.
What's that? That's a gnome right there. Oh my gosh.
Whoa, whoa!
Chase it!
Chase it! Woo!
DTV sent several reporters into the field to capture shots of what these gnomes may look like. But every time that we get close, they just scamper away or get eaten by a dog. If you spot a gnome, call 1-800-777-7777. Reporting from the great outdoors, Paul Gerke,
Mike McManaman, DTV News. The gnomes may look friendly, but don't let their cute and cuddly exterior fool you. Gnomes have been known to take down mammals as large as wildebeests.
On that note, this has been your DTV News Live for Friday, February 25th, 2005.
For Paul, myself, and the rest of the DTV News Live staff, have a great day, DHS.
Peace.
All right, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world.